Oh man, why did it get so cold? And there's snow on the ground? And we have a Mikado? Well, you know what that means, folks. That means that we're here in Railroads Online trying out our brand new save, our brand new focus on the Aurora Falls map and seeing what can happen here. So, we are making our route based off of the famous White Pass in Yukon. So we have number 2, the Dai, with a couple of cars behind it. The snow is building. Where's the other train? Over here is the number 1, the Skagway, our Class 125s, with a short passenger train. And you know what? We're just going to start building track. We're going to start seeing what we can do here, and kind of make a world out of this. So let's quickly get the snow out of here. And it is now clear, and we have to start building track. So we've started to build a little bit of a yard here. We got a couple of locomotives. So I want to go ahead and build, a basic maintenance yard down here, and then we're going to start getting some of the industries hooked up. Obviously, we've got the sawmill down here, logging camp down here, which is in this easternly direction. So that's going to be the main focus, but we're going to spend the first part of today just kind of getting a yard set up, making sure that things are more or less built the way that we want them to. And we're going to do that through the power of magic and the power of track building here. Now, we did stream this game a couple of days ago for those who watched the stream. Thank you for coming out for some of that fun. And you'll have noticed that the game was, let's just call it hectic. Let's say hectic. Um, so, we'll see what happens with all that here. We're going to go ahead, build that to about there, put a bumper in, and then we need to start putting some facilities down. Because obviously these are coal burning locomotives, so we need a coal tower. And we're going to go ahead and rotate that here. We're going to put that there. Eh. Be nice if I could click that. That looks like it's not close enough. Come on, delete. Delete. Huh. There it is. Try this again here. That looks better. It may still be off a little bit, but we'll make it work one way or another. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this switch out. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and connect to basically there, and we're gonna put track in to connect over to here. And that'll give a nice lead in. Because again, it's going to be a little bit before we actually get coal proper. And a few other things. We'll put that to like there. Put a bumper maybe... There it is. And we got a water tower already at the end of the yard, so we're going to let that be. But we need to have an engine facility, so let's go ahead and build one of those. And that way we can store... Maybe we'll build like a 3 or 4 stall roundhouse off the bat, just to get us something to start with, and then we'll, over time, see what we need to build up a bit more. We probably do need a wood rick, though, because I don't know if we're going to necessarily have the full facilities yet for the logging production, but we'll at least put a wood rick in. And we'll put that like here. And looks like that'll start building up wood. The other thing I definitely do want to put down is a sand house, which we may be able to put here as well. And can't tell from this angle. Yeah, that looks like that'll work. Woodrick is in, coal is in. All right, so we've got an engine servicing lead. And now let's actually go ahead and build. Oh, we have a wood thing there. Well, now we got 2. Now we got 2. Go ahead and start building our roundhouse proper. And what we'll do, we'll just build out to here. Go ahead, let's put a turntable in. And then let's start looking at what we need to do. Now, I've heard from some people that with a roundhouse like this, all you really need to do is kind of put 3 cross sections and then go ahead and actually start placing your thing. God, that's very in your face. Let's see, let's rotate that by 1 or 2 degrees. Looks more or less straight. Go ahead and place that. Yeah, that looks about right. And we're going to run that from here to Shmia. Go ahead and rotate just a little bit here. Maybe a little more. And we'll have a few extra kind of sections splitting off here. We're not going to have a huge roundhouse just yet, but you know, if we need to store stuff like snow plows or other fun things, we can at least get those built. So let's continue just building this here. Something like that. Maybe. Yeah, that'll do. And then we'll do this, that, this. Get a second second one of these in. Okay. Yeah, that looks better. And then what we'll do, because this is now off a little bit, let's go ahead. Yeah, we'll have it more or less right there. It's kind of a straight shot. It's a little off, but you know, this is the narrow gauge world of railroading. This is not your grandma's narrow gauge railroad. This is, you know, this is our railroad, which we make the decisions as bad as they may be. So let's go ahead and put that. And we'll get the turntable spun a little bit more here. And like that. Boop. Come on, game. And we'll go back the other way. We'll get this spun going the other direction. And we'll go ahead and build up the other two stalls of the roundhouse here, so we'll have plenty to work with. And let's go ahead and maybe a little more. Yeah, that looks better. And just as a point of reference, 1, 2, 3. And then let's put the building up. Okay. All right, and one more section over here, please. Mr. Turntable, if you'll just let us spin around. A little more. Okay. There we are. So we got a turntable. We've got a 6-stall engine house. We got a few extra leads here for whatever purpose. Now it's time that we start thinking about what we need to do to build up this railroad. So let's just get this lined up for future reference points here. There we go. All right. So we're going to take number 2. Number 2 is going to be our work engine. The die. It's not the dia, it's the die, which is named after an actual place on the in the area that the White Pass in Yukon is in. So let's go ahead and fire her up. Looks like we got plenty of steam. Go ahead and get that going. How's the tender at for fuel? Oh, it's dry. Well, let's go ahead and pull forward to the water tank, and hopefully there's some water in there. Alrighty, so let's get up to the water tower here. We have handbrakes on, don't we? Maybe? There's definitely a handbrake on one of these cars. The question is, where is it? Now if we can just get out of the coal pile. Nope. That'll do it. Okay. Now, another thing I probably should check is how much water is actually in here. 40. Well, it's a start. Yep. Come on. Let me up. Let me up. Let me up! Ah! Okay. Now if we just ease her in. I'm not quite sure. Okay, so here's this. Ah! So we need to back up just a hair. Come on, game. Let me do this. Okay. Well, now that that's good, let's go ahead and actually start watering. And it should start filling up. Okay. So we'll leave that here. Now, we do have some track made going in the direction we want it to. So let's kind of evaluate where we actually need to go here. Because we had started to build this, if you recognize, this is what we starting to stream on Monday, February 12th, when the game update came out. But we were also kind of just dicking around. And I do want to play this somewhat seriously, so we need to figure out how far away some of this stuff is, where we're actually going. And looks like, cool, we had just gotten down to here. And the refinery is off in the corner. So what I think is going to make the most sense, I think based on directions, the logging camp is that way. The other stuff's off that way. So we're going to put in a switch. And we're going to start heading in the general direction of the logging camp, and hopefully we'll end up at said logging camp. So let's start building some track here. And we're just going to take a nice broad curve off of the switch. Because the other thing is we'll probably get the wheat farm below us and the logging camp. Let's see. Let's go ahead and straighten out a little bit here. Because we do have this hill coming up that we're going to have to contend with. And what we'll probably end up doing is we'll kind of circle around. Yeah, there's a low point like right there that we'll use to our advantage to start getting this curved. And we may need to start actually going uphill, at least a little bit, because I'm not sure how tall this hill is. Oh, it's tall. So there's a rock there. Okay. So we're going to need to come up on not a 0.5%, but probably more like 8% of a grade. And then that'll get us starting to climb. We'll see what happens there. So we'll go ahead on like a 2% grade. Curve it around roughly. Now that's too high. So if we do a 1%, more like 1.5 maybe. And then we'll ease her down. Whoa. To more or less a flat grade. Interesting. So this is just taking this off. But but it looks like it's a fairly steep little difference here. So maybe if we just do this, and that's not going up, it's just the ground literally is getting away from us. Of course it is. So, let's see. So we are now facing, let's see, there's the refinery. So we do need to circle around, but maybe we can do that then a little bit lower to the ground. And I'm sure this route will also change quite a bit as we start really figuring out how the new map actually works. But, you know, we'll figure that out together here. So let's have them go up. Maybe instead of curving, we'll just go straight. Now we'll do a curve off. Let's do a 200-meter curve. And then we'll curve it back the other way. Oh, that gets us a little down. That's going to be a lot better. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So a good question is, where the hell actually is the logging camp? So maybe it's going to behoove us, before we get too far, let's use our handy dandy trick to see where we are heading. So it looks like we've got this big mountain in the way, but if we can go up the mountain, the logging camp is, okay, not here. Is that it? Okay. So we've got the logging camp back here, kind of in this valley, which means that we can follow the valley up, more or less, but there is a bit of a grade to get to it. And the farm is there. And our track is... Okay, so I think we got to figure it out now. Let's fall back to Earth, as one does. And let's go ahead and start building some track. So we're going to need to basically have a giant sweeping curve off to the right. That'll be flat. It just feels like the ground is falling away very quickly. Oh, it's coming back up, so we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So basically, this is be like our mule shoe curve as we head around to the wheat farm. It looks like we're going to have to start heading uphill again as we head up to here on a roughly 1%. Let's make this curve a little broader here, which is then going to allow us to still have to go up on a 1%, but we can also then make this maybe just a little less. No, we're gonna probably keep going on a 1%. But I can also make this curve sharper. So I think what we're gonna do is, now that we're here, we're gonna go ahead and throw in 2 or 3 switches. So the first switch is gonna go there. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. And then the second switch, let me put the switch stand on the correct side. There we go. So that way, basically, we go off the main over to, whoa. Is that going to clear? Sure hope so. Yeah, that'll work. But that way the main line's also not going to be intrusive with it. And we'll go ahead and bring this track up to the wheat farm. And is that going to be a brush that we have to get rid of? Maybe not. We'll find out. Okay. And then the track's going to have to go. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just lay it kind of tangent to here. Okay. That's roughly the angle we want. And it's going to be a straight on not a grade, which should then allow us to also get to the water car there. And that might mean we have to change the curve radius a little bit. And yeah, we'll just have to adjust this just a little bit as we head downhill to this switch. But we may just cheese it a little bit and just put that right off of it here. There we go. That'll give us what we want. And then similarly, assuming this is the same angle, which I'm really hoping it is, then we can go ahead and put this here. Yeah. Yeah. So that'll give us a place for our wheat farm to do loads. And we'll have this continue out just a little bit. And then we may have to relay the lead in here, but we can at least get it to, yeah, you can see the height difference is quite a bit. Yep, we'll probably relay that in the future. But at least now we've got a spur off to it. Meanwhile, our main track is going to continue heading uphill on roughly a 1% grade. And it looks like we may need to go higher, 1.5. And that looks like we're on top of the dirt for the most part. Let's quickly put a telephone booth here, and we'll get it looking pretty later. Let's go back to the freight office. And we need to go back to our freight train. And we'll bring it up as far as we currently have it. Okay. Now, how full is the train now with water? I hope it's more than what it was, but we'll find out one way or another here. Yeah. Let me up. That did nothing. Well, that's encouraging. Unless this literally had no water in it, which is also a possibility. No, it didn't do jack. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. I will say it is nice to have a larger locomotive in the game now. That is for sure. Now the question becomes, did I throw that switch? And I did not. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Stop, stop, stop. Train. Train. Whew. Note to self. Fix your switches, you dumbass. Man, we're making great progress with all these trees in the way. Let's go ahead and run forward and hopefully chop these trees down before they get too far in our way. Excellent. Train's still coming and it won't stop coming. Although it might stop because we're about to hit the grade. Tree. Yeah, the engineer on that train doesn't have to worry too much. It's just a crazy madman, you know, getting that built as we go here. And that should be the last tree for a bit, so. Woo! Woo! Okay. All right. Let me in. There we go. All right. Now that we're at end of track, let's continue building here. We're going to continue up on our, what was it? We said like a 2% grade? 1.5? Something like that. Let's do 1.5 if we can. And we're going to start to curve away. Well, do we want to do a 1? I'd feel better if it's 1.5, at least through that curve. And then make it a little bit sharper. And we'll continue growing here. And if we just continue up on a little 1%, that's not going to be enough for the hill. But if we go 2%, then yeah, that'll work. And then we'll just level off here. Or maybe, no, maybe we do need to continue at least a little bit. Now the grade can level off, I think. Or not? I don't know. This hill is deceiving. Yeah, we're definitely still heading upgrade. And we need to get over to there. So let's continue on a 2% roughly grade. And do we just want to continue straight for a little bit and then curve? No, we need to go steeper. Geez, this hill is like deceptive. Okay, and now if we curve over, will we get over this little lump in the hill? No, we still got to go up at 3. Huh. It is deceptive, though. I will give it that. Maybe we don't need to go 3 all the way. Maybe we can go like to that and then a little bit more of the 3 as we continue to curve. Which appears to be working. And then let's see, we may have to do a tanglefoot sort of situation over here where we'll follow the hill and then loop back upon itself here. Yeah, let's go back and grab that locomotive. And that way we'll have it. All right, let's go. Okay. Now, can we run forward to get those trees, or are we going to have to slam on the brake? We're going to slam on the brake. Get you, and you. All right, highball. Okay, so far so good. It's got a decent profile with the track. And then the grade steepens. We head up this hill. Still has a good profile. And then let's go ahead and stop up here. So all right. So we still appear to be in the wrong valley for the log camp. The log camp's at the other one. But if that's it over there, then we're most likely going to have to continue building uphill at a fairly steep, or at least a steeper bit of track. So let's go ahead. Let's start curving around. Curve around at a 2% grade. Maybe we'll have to make this even sharper. Yeah, we need to make this curve sharper. Yeah, there we go. Is that going to clear? You're always going to look for like the green rocks that pop through because that means it's stuff that's actually impacting the track. Okay, so that is good. But then it becomes a problem because we immediately sink into the earth. Damn it. Okay. So we're going to need to probably either make the curve sharper or the grade steeper or a combination of both here. So let's do both. Let's go up on a 3.5% grade, 100-meter radius curve. And depending on how we want to do this, because I don't think if we go to the right, it's going to work off in our favor. We're going to have to keep going left on the turnabout, but just for shits and giggles. Yeah, no, that's it's not going to be good for us. So let's see, a 100-meter radius curve. If we do it, let's drop the grade down just a little bit. And then, yeah, we need to get on top of this plateau. At a 2.5% grade. Although if we get down to a 2%, and then we just hug this. Yeah, because you can see easily how we've been building elevation to get up here. And we're going to have to continue. Let's see, if we span this curve out, we're almost at the point that I'd want to have a ledge, but we still have groundwork going down. And then where's this? Okay, so this will probably be a good spot for a bridge, and we can circle back. Yeah, that'll be good. So we will then, where is that? The wall. So we'll continue up on roughly a 2% grade. Let's get the curve radius to be 80 meters. That'll be a good platform there. Now, I'm a big fan, especially because we have a Rio Grande. We got to go with the Rio Grande curve. And we need to continue up on that 2% grade. And, ooh, we may need to go sharper. Yeah, we might need to go sharper here. And steeper, which is going to be interesting. But that does seem to work. And then if we continue up here at this gradient, I will say the viewscapes on this map are nice. Still figuring out my overall thoughts on it, but offhand it's a decent map. We'll see how the gameplay goes, because obviously in multiplayer, which is kind of what the game was designed for, it's not perfect by any means. Let's see, if we go to here, and then if we put a high fill in for the rest of the curve, whoop! Actually, this is good to see. So it's a little off, but not enough that I would consider it bad. Let's continue up here. In the 70-meter radius curve on a 1%. Let's do a 2%, yeah. And then we can bring down, let's see, what level is the sawmill or the logging camp at? Let's test it again. So I think it's just right around this corner. Yes, it is. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's bring the locomotive up. And we'll see what we can do. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I like that. Let's see here. Doot doot doot. Building the track. Doot doot doot. Getting the trees down. Doot doot doot. Building the train, and here it will go soon. I also am nervous about the water. We may need to go back for water, like the moment we build up to the logging camp. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's roll. Okay, so far so good. Grade's not impacting too much. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Maybe. Okay, let me out of the cab. Get these trees cut down. Wish they had a way you could then replant trees to like make the landscape nice once you go through it again. All right. Let's see. Gonna get that one tree out. Whoa! All right, locomotive, let me back in the cab, please. Let me back in. Yeah, that'll give us a nice curve. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue building the track here. And because we've got a flat spot, we're going to go ahead and put a passing siding in. That way, downhill and uphill trains can meet. We'll just build it up on this little berm here. And curve it off to the right a little bit. There we go. Throw a switch on it going the other way. Whoop. As I was saying, throw a switch on it going the other way. And maybe we'll build up a little station or something here down the road. Who knows? Okay, tree, go away, tree, go away. Leave that one. Tree, go away, tree, go away, tree, go away. And tree, go Hawa. Okay, and this is mainly just to help with the curve. Yeah. Go ahead, put this all together. And we'll see where the curve starts on this end. for it to then come together. Curve starts about there, which means that we'll start our curve about there as well. All right. Okay, we need to go ahead and start curving the other way. We probably also need to head uphill a little bit. So we'll go ahead, get a nice broad curve. Yeah, we're still definitely heading uphill. Definitely don't want to have the roadbed too high, but we will need to get up to there. So let's go ahead, continue up on a, is the 1% going to cut it? 1.5 looks, 2%. Yeah. And then so let's run over to the logging camp and let's get those tracks built, and then we'll find a way to tie that back into our main line. I do appreciate the fact that now there actually is a long run that you need to go to get to the sawmill or to the logging camp. It's going to make playing this a lot more interesting, just because then you'll actually have longer destination trains to run. It's not just, oh, it's on the other side of that ridge. Okay, and this is roughly about there. And we'll go ahead and run this back here. Run it to like there. And that was the cordwood side. Of course it was the cordwood side. Here's the log side, which theoretically is on the same angle-ish. And we're going to run that back to here as well. And I think what we'll do, since there's not really much else coming out of here, we'll go ahead and put a Y in. So what we'll do, go ahead, put this switch in, and we'll redirect the track to come in. And then go a little bit further. Or do we just want to balloon loop it? Nah, I'd rather do a Y. We can always add a balloon loop in later, but it'd be more prototypical for either push-pull or to have a Y built in. And usually with Ys, I like to do the 80-meter radius curves. And then that'll get us to roughly that should work there. And we'll put that there. Put the tail out a bit. Probably 100 meters is all we really need, but yeah. Oh, the fun thing's gonna be the canyon wall here. But, if we do it a little differently. So what we'll do is we'll then put the straight section here. And we'll do it like to here. And if we rotate, yes. Then we'll go ahead, have the curve go. we'll get the straight piece going like to that point. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. Curve's going to be a little on the sharper side, but it's just to turn around trains. It's not going to be mainline speeds, so theoretically that should be good then. Okay. Let's go ahead and put in, again, another lead. Let's also have this curve off a little bit. No, we'll just have it head straight into the wall. Okay. So we got a Y. We've got 2 tracks in, but I need to get the siding figured out. The Y switches are created. And we do need to get that locomotive back for water. So what we might do is, at least for this episode, once we get the track built, we'll bring the locomotive up, Y it, run it back down, and then we'll park it back at the freight depot / Railway Express Agency building. And that will allow us to do what we need to do. Come on, train. So let's see, if I delete all this, it deletes the entire thing. Of course it does. So hopefully we still have that same angle. We'll find out one way or another here. Whoa, that's a bug. It just started spinning. I didn't ask it to spin. It just spun. Okay. And we'll make sure that that's at a straight angle. And we'll make sure that that connects then over to this here track. Nicely done. Get a couple of trees out of the way. Okay, and then on this side, yes, more or less clear. Cut down our rock. But it wasn't a rock. It was a rock lobster. I think what we'll do is on this side, we can see where the track's coming in. But I'm not sure. Actually, no, this will be a lot easier than I think. So we'll just do that. Throw the switch in. And I am not playing with mods other than the fact that I used a mod to get a little extra money up front so we could get that new locomotive and a few cars. But let's go ahead, do that. And then that'll run over to the switch. But I wish I had like the fast run mod on, because that would be nice. It would help speed things up. But god damn it! Of course I hit the wrong button. Do. Okay. All right, cordwood track's in. Log track is in. Cut off that rock. Okay, come on. Throw the switch, Krog. Pull the lever! Okay. And are we losing? No, we're fine. We're fine. Let's get these couple of trees cut down. And then we can get this more or less lined up to roughly the same lie here. Come on. Do. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a Mikado, E-I-E-I-O, with a Mikado here and a Mikado there. Yeah, we'll fix that later. All right, back to our engine. I will say the elevation difference is definitely a lot more than I thought it would be. Let's go ahead, get you over here. All right, engine. It's time for you to earn your keep by not grabbing any loads, but just testing the track. Oh wait, do we not have a fire? We don't. Let's fix that here. We're gonna start firemen when we need them. Alrighty. Fire is doing its thing. Engine is rolling. We are losing boiler pressure, but that'll come back up. There are still a few problems, like the first fact that the pressure gauge only goes up to 130. This is a 200 PSI locomotive in real life, and they only model it to 160. You can also see, if you look at the leaf springs in here, they literally just drew the lines on for the springs. It's not heavily detailed. Some stuff's animated, some stuff's not. Not quite sure how they built the pilot, but it looks like there's parts missing in the pilot, the trailing truck. You know, it's still better than anything we've gotten before, but... Alright, here we go. Okay, so the fire temperature's getting hotter. We'll have a good run-in when we do have logs. And we'll see how the track's going to be for the Y. Do wish to, you could choose which headlight you want to have on. So I just fear, like with Railroader, like you have curves that are super sharp for some things and they don't like it. It looks like this engine is more or less doing it. It's maybe not the biggest fan, but it is able to accommodate it. Oh, that's the wrong lever. maybe we will need to extend this a little bit, because I forgot how big the locomotive is compared to some of the others here. Come on. Let me up. Thank you. Now, I think I read, too, that on this locomotive... Let me open the door. Let me go out the door. You could put marker lamps at the front, which would be really awesome. Wait, you have to place them individually? That seems odd, but okay. Because why wouldn't you just have two of the same type if you're going to do that? But, huh. Also, the marker lamps look tiny compared to the locomotive. They look not proportional, which might just be my eyes. Maybe it's an actual thing. I don't know. But either way, we got a big mic in the game, or at least a medium-sized mic. All right, back down to our main station we go. And it took that corner like a champ. Okay, and down the grade we are going. So let's just start drifting. Okay. Round the curves we go. And down the 3%. It does, this actually map does give a better representation of what some of the grades are like in like the high deserts and areas where you actually will have steeper gradients. But this will be interesting to run. I am definitely looking forward to playing a little bit more of it. I am not looking forward to running this damn engine off the tracks, because it definitely picks up speed quickly, and that might just be we have to set some retainers and let her go. But if I just don't put the brakes on, we're rolling at 31, and the locomotive's a little jumpy. Shaking his booty a little bit. 34. Whoa. Are we about to hit 40 in this damn locomotive? Yeah, I don't... We're gonna let it roll. We're gonna see what happens here. 42. But if it hits something, it doesn't. Oh shit, here we go. Oh god! Well, this went fantastic. Huh. Well, we got the locomotive up to 42. But with that, I think we're going to call it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the content, give us a like and think about subscribing for more railroad fun. We'll see you next time with more Railroads Online.